You only need three things to rank higher on Google and in AI models if you're running an IT, a service, or a SaaS company. My name is Robert, and I'm the founder of the B2B SEO and geo agency Seekers Media, and we help more than 50 B2B companies to rank higher on Google, to achieve higher search results, and generate more revenue. So this is also why today I will show you exactly how this process is done and how you can achieve the same thing with your IT and service company. Mentioning that this strategy, of course, not just works for Google, but also for all the upcoming AI models like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or the Google AI Mode. But before I reveal the full strategy to you, let's break down the three basic things that every IT and SaaS company needs to rank high on Google. And those three things are, first of all, the website. I guess you have one. Let's look into that soon. You need content and links and digital PR. That's it. Those are the three factors to rank high on Google. But let's break down each of these one by one, starting with the website. How does the perfect IT service, consulting, or SaaS website look like? Well, first of all, many companies think I need to build an apple.com website or something like that. But that's not the case. Your website has to be modern. It has to be slim, ideally, clean, and good looking. So for IT and SaaS companies, from my experience, it's a lot about how you structure and how you simplify your explain intense offerings on your website. And from our experience, IT and SaaS companies definitely have the high standards in terms of design from all B2B companies, because we also work a lot with industrial companies. We don't see as high standards for the design as we see in IT, service, and SaaS companies. Then I have also some ideas for you here, how such a website could look like. So let's have a look into some Figma designs here. What we see here is a classical design template of an IT service or SaaS website. And what we see here is, first of all, you present your core offering in the first H1 here. So when someone enters your website, they only see this part, right? So they see your core offering. They also see your USPs, what's your offering about, and then you can also have direct call to actions to the services if you're a service company, or you can also have a direct call here, call to action to start a demo or a trial or something like that. This is the first conversion optimized part of the website. Of course, same for mobile devices. Use the space wisely. Make it as easy as possible so users don't have to scroll. Display the most important information first on top of the website, and then we go more into depth into trust elements like references and clients, more USPs, explain them more, elaborate. Also, of course, as a service company, as a SaaS company, it's pretty important to also embed videos on your website to explain those offerings that you have, and as well, because for tech companies, we usually don't have a lot of trustworthy or relational personal content on the website. So through a video, you can build a relationship with your visitor. Also important for tech companies. Then also display the services, the process and workflows. We will go more into that in a bit, but that's how you design basically the content on your website. And in this first part of the video, I'm just talking about design solely. We go into the content later. Of course, your website has to be fast loading. But what does fast loading mean? You can check your page speed with the tool like Google PageSpeed Insights. And many companies believe that they have to get a clear score of 100 here. I did a test with a website of us that we worked with in the past, and some developers try to improve the page speed of this website to 100. It's a partner project of another agency I was collaborating with. And what we tried is bring the page speed up as high as possible, get the perfect 100 measures here. in terms of Google page speed. And we saw when we hit 100 in each of those parameters that it didn't do anything to the rankings of the website. And we tried that another time with another website. And there was 1 or 2 years ago. And now you see we still have pretty good page speed measures here. Every measure is in the top area, the top range here. And we still get the result from Google that we didn't pass the test. It doesn't make any sense. And from a practical point of view, if you have such a well-optimized and fast-loading page and still Google says, oh, your page is not fast enough, it's just not true. Because we have to look what works practically from a user's perspective, from the visitors of your website. And I don't just talk about that because it's also backed up by a study by SEMrush. And they had a look in 2024 on all of the ranking factors, which were actually the ranking factors that make content visible on Google. And what we see is we have the content factors here in blue, for example. They correlate most with better rankings, and then we go down, but I want to show that to you. The content factors are the blue ones. Then we have URL and domain factors. That's also website, of course, but it's not the page speed. This is more, for example, the traffic. And then we have backlink factors. It's also not the page speed. This is how much backlinks and how the quality of the links to the website from other websites is like. And the page speed factors are here, the user signals and the user experience factors. And when we deep dive into that, where do we first see purple and green color in this analysis? You have to scroll a lot, and it's still here. It's not direct page speed, it's direct traffic share, okay? And the actual page speed factors, we find them here. CLS, FCP, right? Those are the page speed factors that we also find in the page speed insights, and those actually correlate negatively. So that means that page speed doesn't matter as much as most companies would think like. Then we also have, of course, responsiveness. Your website has to be responsive in today's age. Most companies also have mobile phones, but people have mobile phones and use them to search for offerings, for services, for new software solutions. So your website definitely has to work and look good on mobile devices. So that was it in terms of the website. And now as we finish the design part, design is important, but how about content? And I'm telling you, the content is definitely the most important factor for software, for IT service and consulting companies to rank high on Google. So let's have a look on that next. I want to start with the most basic information or knowledge on SEO content. And most companies who don't do SEO, they have a problem with where do I place my content on my website, which types of content do I place there, and how much content do I place there on the website. And to simplify that, we always do in the first step of a collaboration with a company, we always do for our clients a keyword mapping. And we try to identify, this is a keyword mapping for an IT or software as a service company, for example. This is for an AI consulting company that we are currently working with and are in a setup phase. And we try to identify, first of all of their offerings, topics, so everything they try to solve with their offerings, and maybe also questions of their clients, problems. So we try to bring all of those topics together, research all the topics. Most of the times we also see those topics within the website, in the menu, for example. When we have a look at our website, could be we have SEO for B2B, we have Google Ads for B2B, SEO for industrial companies, and so on, and consulting as well. So we try to bring down all of these topics into the first column here. So in this example, we have AI consulting, we have generative AI consulting, remote patient monitoring. That's, for example, another issue or question problem that their target group is dealing with. And we try to bring down all of these topics. Then we do a keyword research. And according to the topic, we try to identify all the keywords that are out there and researched by their potential clients on that topic. So for example, for AI consulting, there is also AI consulting. Well, that's obvious here. But what about AI management consulting or AI strategy consulting, AI consulting for small and medium-sized enterprises? And then we also have, I see there's a double in here, duplicate, so removing that. Then we also have generative AI consulting. We have, for example, in terms of that keyword research, we found that there's generative AI consulting, then generative AI consulting services. These are some German keywords now that have, because we searched in Germany for this company, which have the same search intent. So someone who looks for that keyword is also looking for that keyword, and so on. And this is also one of the major takeaways for you here. When you structure a keyword set and when you research keywords according to one of your topics, try to identify the search intent. How you do that? When you Google generative AI consulting, also Google generative AI consulting services. Just and only if you get the same or pretty similar search results, so the same pages that are ranking for this keyword are also ranking for this keyword, then you can rank them together on one service page. And we go on with, for example, the informative keywords here, remote patient monitoring. What is remote patient monitoring? What are the benefits of that process? And this is definitely a problem-based search. So someone who's searching that is looking for answers according to that topic. They're not looking for services. And this is why we structure this topic as an informative topic, as a blog or guide research and topic, and those are commercial topics, service-based pages. Now, we also want to make clear that we map out the right domain for that keyword set and topic. So our domain in the end will be the service page / AI consulting page. So this is our page, the AI consulting page. If you don't have this page yet, if you identify a topic for you, then you have to create this page. If you have a page already, then you optimize the content of the page. This is the first step that we always do. If we have done that mapping and research, we want to have a look for our IT and service companies, SaaS companies, is there enough content? Enough content means, and we can look that up in an example in a bit, first of all, to have enough content on your service pages. And this is definitely the most important thing for IT service and software as a service companies. And secondly, you have enough content on your informative pages, on your blog, guide, or problem-based pages for those kind of topics that relate to your services and products, but are not directly your service and products, are more problem-based. So you build an article around a specific problem and then you embed and market your solutions in that article. Okay, an example for that could be an article about if you're a cybersecurity company, okay, you have the problem or your customers research the problem, how to make email communication in my company more secure. And you build this article after you've done the keyword research and you check that you have enough content and answer this question properly. So how does enough content look like? Well, let's check if we find an example. I was searching for IT service provider, for example, in Ontario, and I found this company. I don't know this company. I just found them on Google just now. And I want to check the service pages. So they, for example, have a cybersecurity and threat protection page. So on this page, what do we see content-wise? We see, first of all, next to the pretty clean and great design, they did a few things here which I like pretty much. First of all, they directly get to the point, to the core offering. Constant cyber threats, get proactive managed cybersecurity for optimal protection. So they directly say we work with, or we offer proactive managed cybersecurity, which is a good thing. And then we go through the different challenges: daily emergence of sophisticated malware, challenge of consistently securing data. So they have a really client-based and problem-based approach here for this service page. Then they also have, and I like that pretty much, they have a really great structure for their services. So they structure the full process, how a service works, how their offering works, how the consultant works. Then they also have different parts of their offering. They have advanced managed detective response, 24/7 knock and sock. Okay, so different offerings they break down. And you see directly what you're getting here. They also have client reviews here on the page, and ideally a call to action to contact them. In the best case, they also have a personal contact person. We also did that, for example, here. Ideally, you have a personality on the IT service or SaaS page as well to get closer to your clients. Another huge topic and challenge for IT and software as a service company is that they often have pretty complex and explanation intense offerings. So a challenge is to break those offerings down, the software or the consultants. And the way how you do that is quite of an art. And as we are also like an IT service consultancy company somehow, I try to show you how that looks like on our B2B SEO agency page. So when we work together with you, for example, we have a tailored process. And this process is what I always try to break down into the most simple way. So we have 6 blocks here in our corporation and how we usually work with companies. And those 6 blocks are based in a specific order. So I try to break down the process of how our corporation works as simple as possible. This is step 1. This is step 2. This is step 3, 4, 5. That's it. This is how it works. This is what you get. And whenever I have a sales presentation, I have one this afternoon as well with a Canadian company, and I will show them exactly this process. I will pitch them how a corporation with us looks like. And this is what I mean. We have a super complex process of how SEO works, and I want to extract into the most basic elements and blocks how this process looks like. This is how you do it as well for your IT service or software as a service company. Another, of course, component of software as a service companies, and this is mostly for SaaS companies, is that you, of course, offer also a free trial or a testing period on your website. As I showed with a call to action directly in the beginning, you of course also have a page where you can directly start into the offering, and a page which explains how you can, for example, access the software and test it. This is just for SaaS companies. I'm probably sure you're aware of that, but just for to have the complete overview, another content piece here. And then we also can talk about content that is performing in AI models, because of course ranking in Google is great, but as AI models like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI Mode, Gemini are coming now, it is very important for your company, in order to stay visible, to rank there or get mentioned as well. So how does content in the world of AI look like? First of all, we have to think about to create content that AI models cannot recreate themselves. Those types of content, for example, could be for IT service, SaaS companies, process of explanation, of course, the intense or explanation intense offerings that I just showed you. Very important. And also, don't play short here. Take a lot of space on your website to explain your offerings in detail and break them down as simple as possible. AI do not understand or doesn't know how a process works Of course, they can copy and they can try to regenerate processes, but as you as a company build up your process of how your service works or how your software works, this is the core source, right? So AI can just recreate processes and ideas based on what you offer, how you present the solutions. Then, of course, videos explain how your service works, explain how your software works. AI cannot recreate personal videos. They can create videos based on avatars or sketches, but they cannot create personal, real, in-person videos that really build trust. Then we have case studies, very important for consultant companies. We have a lot of case studies as well on our website from our clients here, and we publish them also as videos on our YouTube channel, how those different case studies work and how our process looks like in specific client companies. Then we have company know-how. So when you developed a software solution, you have a ton of know-how. AI doesn't have that because AI didn't create a solution or a software. So make sure to share and present that again in a really great and simple way. White paper, another thing. We also have white paper on our website. It's here and you can also download that, by the way, on robertsiegis.com/en/paper. I have also put the link in the description. And white paper is another great type of content that you can use to generate leads and, of course, to have content that AI cannot recreate, because this is true insight from our practice from working with more than 50 companies. And then we have the whole topic of structured content, because in AI ages, it's important to mention that an AI, if they crawl the web, they need crawler budget. So as your articles are super long, are not clearly structured, you have a ton of unorganized, chaotic content on your website that is just dumped there, that this doesn't work because it costs a lot of credits for the AI crawlers. It's a lot of energy that is used there to get this content to understand your website. So try to address your content with a really clear structure. And by structure, I mean, for example, having a look at the HTML structure. When we have a look at our structure, you always see that our website, if we use SEO Meta and one-click, for example, to see the headline structure, our website is structured like a book. So you have the H1, different H2s, then the H3s, and so on. So it's super clearly structured within the code, first of all. Of course, service overview section. When you have a service page like this one, you show exactly how this process works. So this is a section that only displays a single process. If we have multiple solutions or services, we structure them like that. We have like a really good structured service overview section where we display the different services that we offer. And we of course also work with meta tags. That's another type of structured data. Meta title, meta description. And then we have a personal contact person, as I showed. So showing that there is like a real person behind that. In this case, it's me and our team. And of course, reviews and pricing structure. Those types are also information that you can display as structured data on your website. For example, using schema data. There is a full article on that on developers.google.com. They show how you use structured schema markups to give the information to Google that it is a structured data set that you have on your website, for example, the pricing structure or the review structure, so that they directly understand, this is a pricing structure, and they can read that better, and then you get mentioned easier in AI models and on Google search. Now, we talked a lot about content now, but what about the third piece in the journey? What about link building and digital PR? Because we just talked about your website and all the contents you have on that website. But there is also another indicator that helps you ranking higher on Google and appearing more often in AI models. And this is links and digital PR. So where are you recognized? Where are you mentioned? Where are you linked through the internet? And I call that, or in SEO language, you would say, this is off-page SEO. This is everything that happens outside of your page. And we can use like keyword tools or SEO software like Ahrefs. And this is just this website that I found earlier on Google. Again, I don't know this company, and this is just for demonstration. And we can see the backlinks of this website with this tool. So these are the articles or the pages where this page is linked. Of course, there's some spam in it, but you have also some listings. You have some magazines that I found. For example, a magazine that I found where those guys here and girls are linked is this one. This is pcnet.com. And they wrote an article, and that could be like a guest article, but this is like an expert article, what's lurking in the shadows of your network. And this is about IT service and cybersecurity. And they are linked here in this article. Let's see if we can find them. Not this one. Not this one. There's another website linked in here. Here they are linked. And their blog article, you see that in the left down corner now, is about business network security, how to stop shadow it. And they have linked them in the anchor text surveys here. So this is a good thing because it gives them recognition. And this company, that we're talking about, is mentioned here through this article and therefore builds more domain authority because they are relevant. So a blog article of them gets linked here. And this is exactly what I mean. The better the resources you're linked from, and the more you have of those links from other websites, the better it is, simply spoken, for your domain authority. We recognized in our work in the past years that this is very important, especially for IT and software as a service company, way more than for manufacturers or e-com companies. And in our white paper, we have like a full analysis of more than 2,250 companies, where we also analyzed a lot of IT and software as a service companies. And what we found is that they, of course, have way higher competition than, for example, industrial services or metal and material manufacturers. Why is that? Well, it's because they are way more tech related, and online marketing, SEO, those things play a way bigger role in their marketing strategies. So they are a bit more ahead. Competition is higher. That means that content alone is good, but you also need to build links, which is not the case quite often for metal and material manufacturers, for example. But for IT and service companies, it's definitely true. So how do you build those links? Well, as I said, look for potential industrial magazines, branch magazines like this, for example, about ERP systems. This is an IT magazine, and they have a ton of blog articles here. You can write to their editorial section. Usually you find the contact information down here. And other forms of links that you like to get are also social media links, links from forums, from listings, but also from classical media, not just branch and industrial magazines, but also classical media, online newspapers. And this way you build links, but also make sure to get mentioned. Your brand and your product get mentioned. For example, HubSpot. They have a super huge software solution that is on the market for quite a long time. And I'm telling you, they get mentioned, not just linked, but mentioned on Reddit, on Instagram, on LinkedIn every time. And this is what makes their brand so powerful. They have a lot of brand recognition. And another thing is also, when you have a company, you're the CEO or you're like the sales or head of marketing, then it's also important for you to be recognized in media. So you are a person maybe that can have like an interview on a podcast. That also makes the brand more popular, and in the end makes you more visible in AI models, because AI models are constantly crawling the web and try to understand, is this company important these days? Are they relevant? Are their offerings relevant? Where are they linked? Where are they mentioned? Where is their team mentioned? This is what AI models constantly scan and crawl. And based on these results, they will also display you on top of the results and resources. So those were the 3 basic things that you need as an IT service or software as a service company to rank higher on Google and in AI models. And if you want to now also want to start with SEO or generative engine optimization, and you want to have a proper consultant or want to have like a support, then you can definitely rely on our expertise. Just go to robertsiegers.com/en and you can book an appointment up here, down here, everywhere on our website. In a first free initial consultation, we help you to identify if SEO or generative engine optimization are good strategies for your company, where we can start, and then help you out to build a proper strategy to rank higher and to become visible and generate more leads and revenue with your website. robertsiegers.com/en. I'm looking forward to see you in the call or here on the channel in the next video. Have a great day.